Hello guys, my name's John, I'm the Geeky Fanboy, and today we're reviewing the finale of Series 11, Doctor Who. I just watched the episode, so I'm recording this straight after watching it, so you get all my fresh impressions. So, I can honestly say I loved it. It's such a satisfying ending. It was basically what I expected, like with the characters, who the villain turned out to be. I just loved it. Let's just go through it. Okay, so the obvious thing that we're also getting in the episode is who turns out to be our villain. It's Tim Shaw, and I guess that is basically what a lot of people, if not even most people, kind of expected to happen. I kind of thought it's either gonna be Tim Shaw or the guy from Rosa, or maybe the guy in the second episode who vanished. But yeah, I think it's good that it turned out to be Tim Shaw, because that gave us a lot of conflict, like with Graham and Ryan and what happened to Grace and all that, and I'm going to talk about this in a couple of minutes. So I like how this episode slowly builds up to what the actual problem is, because when we're getting there, we don't actually know what's going on. Like, you have the Doctor just answering a distress call, which is perfect, because that's such a Doctor thing to do. Like, you have the stress calls, and of course she says, we're gonna help, because no one is willing to help, so of course we're going there, because we're the good people, so to speak. I like that it's kind of a mystery, that we're not quite sure what's happening. Even when we know it's Tim Shaw, we don't really know what he's doing there, how what he did since he's been on that planet. So I like that you slowly kind of get to know what has happened to the crew, to the guy who lost his memory, and to the two other guys who we saw at the very beginning. Speaking of the woman and the boy we saw at the very beginning, the Ook, or whatever they call it, I really like the idea of their species. I thought it was really, really interesting. I mean, of course, at the beginning they looked totally cool with the creation powers and everything they had. I thought that was pretty badass. But then when it turns out that they're actually their own species, they're like this legendary species only consisting of two people who live on for millennia, I think that's such a cool concept. Like, it can do so much with that. So I do hope that, as much as we've already seen, I do hope that either those two characters, or at least some other characters from this species, that we do see them return, because I think there's such a great concept within the Ook that they could make a return at some point. So the big thing that kind of goes through the entire episode, and that starts early on with the reveal of Tim Shaw, is of course that you get Graham and him being, of course, obviously angry that this guy is back, the guy who killed his wife. And early on you realize, okay, there's gonna be some sort of revenge thing going on. And I like that Graham was really straight about it. There wasn't even any denying or nothing. Like, he straight up told the Doctor, listen, this guy killed my wife, I'm gonna kill him for revenge, and there's nothing you can do to stop me from doing it. And even when the Doctor tells him, no, you can't do that, you can't continue traveling with me if you do this, you should get back to the TARDIS, he says, no, I'm gonna do this, whether you like it or not. So I like that there wasn't any pretend in also how the lines were delivered in that scene. So I thought that was really, really cool. And it also gave Graham a really nice arc throughout the episode. Along with that, of course, at least I'm thinking I'm not the only one, came this fear that Graham might die. I hope I wasn't the only one who thought about this, because as soon as he talked about revenge and facing Tim Shaw down and shooting him, I thought, oh my god, this is gonna end with Graham dying, either because he can't kill Tim Shaw or Tim Shaw gets to him first. I honestly thought throughout the entire episode this is gonna end with Graham dying. And there was some great tension there with that, because the entire time you could tell, okay, Graham is going to go through with this. Like, he's not going to back down. Sure, he goes along with Ryan and the Doctor's plan, but the entire time you keep thinking, he's going to go looking for Tim Shaw. He's so going to go looking for Tim Shaw. And when the scene happened, while I was watching it, I thought, I don't care if Graham is gonna shoot Tim Shaw or not, just don't let him die, because the entire outcome in my head was like, Graham's gonna die, Graham's gonna die, Graham's gonna die. And there was kind of this build up to it. Also the framing throughout the entire episode up to that point was like always the group, and then you had Graham separate from the group in the cinematography and everything, the way it was edited. So I thought they were kind of building up to this feeling of you already kind of getting separated from Graham, with this thought of that he might be in danger and die, but luckily he didn't. I mean, I think it's kind of obvious that he doesn't go in for the kill, but when he didn't go in for the kill, I thought, on now Tim Shaw is gonna shoot him. And luckily Ryan was there, and it's such a cool moment when they get to take down Tim Shaw together, because this is really kind of their bad guy. They are taking revenge for Grace's death. So I like that it's the two of them taking down Tim Shaw, and they have this really cool moment that finally do the fist bump and everything. It's even a bit funny. And like the entire emotional build up to that moment between the two was really, really nice. Like their dynamic, their chemistry is definitely one of the best things that we've seen throughout the entire series. And I like that before that it also gets addressed again through Ryan, who says, Graham, Granddad, I know what you're thinking, I feel the same thing, but don't do this. You know what Grace would say, and like he goes out of his way to say, I know I haven't told you this, but I love you, you're my granddad, you mean so much to me, don't do this. So I like this entire emotional build-up these two had until the final moment when they take down Tim Shaw. Speaking of Tim Shaw, I liked how the Doctor dealt with him. I love how straight up she is. Like, when she sees him, she says, you're not going to do this. I've sent you back before, I've defeated you before, you're not going to do this, not if I'm here. Like, I always love it when the Doctor is like really sure about something and tells a bad guy in this really definite way, this is not happening, not as long as I'm here, and I'm gonna stop what you're doing no matter what it takes. Also, what was very Doctor-ish was this kind of dilemma she was in with the Ook and the Earth, like that she has to try and find a solution to so that no one dies. Because obviously, as Yaz kind of proposes the idea, okay, it's 2 people versus 7 billion humans on Earth, so, you know, it kind of looks obvious what you want to do, but that's what I just love about the Doctor. Like, she's always so determined to find the best outcome. She's not just taking the, like, better solution of 2 bad ways. No, she tries to save everyone, no matter what, and I do like that she was not willing to give in to the option to kill someone. In general, I love the Doctor a lot again in this episode. Like, she has really grown to me throughout the series. I mean, I already liked her from the get-go, but like, now that this is the final episode of the series, I've come to really enjoy her, and I like watching her, and especially in this episode, I kind of loved again, no, I straight up loved again how she works out stuff. Like, I love how she just like very incoherently mumbles to herself, like just says some random stuff that sounds really silly, and then you kind of have to listen to really, really closely to figure out what it she means. And I just like those like really silly random remarks she makes while she tries to work stuff out, or while she tries to explain stuff, and there's still this like sense of enthusiasm to her whenever she gets to explain something, or whenever she gets to figure something out. Like, she's really, really determined, and I just love the whole way she goes about things. And I think you could see this really well in the series finale, like what her Doctor is like when she's trying to be classic Doctor, working out, explaining stuff. And I think she has some very good like Doctor moments where I just think, yeah, that's something the Doctor does, that's something the Doctor says. Like when, like I said in the beginning, when she answers the distress calls because she simply wants to help people. When she has that conversation with Graham about killing someone, I really enjoyed that that moment, because it's something the Doctor is always very persistent about, and I love that she draws this line again, even after spending so much time with Graham and coming to like him a lot. I like how straight she is about that sort of stuff. And yeah, like I said again, those interactions with Tim Shaw were really cool because I like how sure and self-confident she is when she faces down the bad guy. And again, like the technobabble, the explaining, like there were some really cool moments with Jodie Whittaker in this episode where you just feel like this is so much like the Doctor. I mean, she is straight up the Doctor for me. Like I didn't really have any doubts about it, but you know, there are always those moments in episodes where you think, oh, that's so the Doctor, and I love how many moments she had in this episode. And I have to say, yes, Yaz was again like the weakest of the companions, but I think that's kind of what we all agree on by now, that she is the weakest of the three companions. I don't think she's bad. Honestly, I don't think she's bad. She is just not used as much, or not as well as Ryan and Graham are. But what I think was good in this episode is that they paired her with the Doctor, because that's when she works best, in my opinion. When she's paired with the Doctor, she's fantastic. Like, I love her dynamic with the Doctor when they ramble together, when they try to figure stuff out together, and they speak in unison when they figure something out. So I think that was a good decision, that even though she is the weakest of the companions, they gave her this really good chemistry with the Doctor. Also, some random moments I really enjoyed were like one when the Doctor references something from series 1, and when she was like, I once turned a Slovene back into an egg so I can do anything. I was like, oh nice, series 1 reference, when do you ever get that again? And I also really like when Graham, I think, shoots a robot, or explodes the robots, and he's like, yeah, yippee-ki-yay robots. I'm like, yeah, Die Hard reference, love it. Also right now, I'm thinking, because it really just came to mind, when Ryan and Graham put Tim Shaw in the stasis chamber, like you see him touching the glass as he kind of freezes or something, I guess. I'm not sure if that is supposed to imply something, because it kind of has this feeling of, okay, are they trying to imply that he might come back, or that he's still in movement or whatever? I don't know, it just came to mind, and I don't know, it might mean that Tim Shaw comes back one day, who knows. So to maybe also say something, the stuff that bothered me, like I said, Yaz, again, weakest companion, but that's kind of what we settled on for now. And I guess like the regular problem of there being pacing issues, which seems to be a problem in general with episodes written by Chris Chibnall, because I was surprised that it says that the finale was written by Chibnall, because I kind of had in mind, okay, all the early episodes in the series are written by Chibnall, and then all the other episodes are written by the other people, but no, this was also written by Chibnall, which worried me just a bit, but it turned out to be fine mostly. But yeah, like I said, there are maybe some pacing issues, because especially the ending, as cool as it was, the ending felt a bit rushed. Like, where you were like, oh, okay, planets and Earth being in danger, and oh no, the Ook are doing something, and then, yeah, Tim Shaw captured, hooray, and then, yeah, that's it. Like, I mean, I kind of like how they worked it out, but I just thought it felt a bit executed, like, too fast. So yeah, I really like this episode. I thought it's a satisfying ending for this series, even though the series only has 8 episodes, but I thought it worked out nicely. I'm honestly glad they didn't bring back any like big past aliens or enemies like they said they wouldn't do. So I'm glad that we got a bad guy from like very early, very early in the series. Because I think that works fine. I don't need my Daleks or my Cybermen in every finale. Like, I don't, and I'm fine with how they did it. It felt very natural, and it felt very much in place with what we've seen throughout the series. So I really enjoyed watching Series 11. I'm gonna do an episode ranking very soon. I'm maybe gonna rewatch some of the earlier episodes, and yeah, so I'll do some ranking of the episodes very soon, and I kind of guess that maybe the finale is gonna be a bit higher up. I have a feeling. Oh, and also just because they showed that at the end, like the first trailer for the New Year's special, like holy moly, I have no idea what they're up to, but I'm so excited right now. It looks so thrilling. Like I guess they're gonna bring back an old enemy because they're really kind of building this up with the Doctor being like, oh yeah, I've known them for some time, and they're some of the worst and deadliest aliens who could ever imagine. They could convert or take over the whole world and and because they cut out when Graham or Ryan, I don't know who asks her, but do they have a name? And the Doctor just has this really sunken expression on her face, and it cuts out right off that. I was like, oh, come on, I want to know. So I guess they're gonna bring back, at least that's my feeling for right now, they're gonna bring back some familiar faces, so to speak. But yeah, that trailer has me super hyped right now for the New Year's special, so I'm really looking forward to that. So, those were my thoughts on Doctor Who Series 11 finale. What did you think about the finale? Tell me in the comments below, did you like it? Did you not like it? How did you enjoy Series 11 overall? Do tell me in the comments below, I'd love to chat. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like and subscribe. I know I'm a new YouTube channel, but you can definitely expect some Doctor Who videos coming up. I try to upload Doctor Who videos every week. Like, I try to make it like a Monday thing. As you can guess, I'm very, very thrilled about anything relating to Doctor Who. So I hope I can get out some more Doctor Who content very soon, so look out for that. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you around next time. Goodbye.